Why do we sit here being silent, watching our leaders turn into tyrants? Have they forgotten which side they're fighting for? Checks and balances set aside and rule of laws, youth and ours, and Constitution openly ignored. Man, I'm not okay. Think we are being played. Is it time for right and left to join a greater cause? Man, I'm not okay. The rich claim to be victimized just to attack the marginalized. Is 1% really worth more than all the sick and poor? Always preaching about fellowship while planning their dictatorship. Now we've seen how all of this plays out before. Man, I'm not okay. Think we are being played. Time for you and I to join our country's call. Man, I'm not okay. Ever wonder all the mystery? Why they whitewash our history? Keep dividing is their plan. All in all, such a scam. Algorithm very sly, only used to spread the lies. Politicians know well, hate is simple to upsell. Man, I'm not okay. Think we are being played. Time for you and I to join our country's call.
We are not okay. America is not okay, and we all know that. Former Congressman Joe Walsh, this is The Social Contract with Joe Walsh. Let's figure out how to get okay together. He put it out late last night, and most people didn't think it was real. Trump posted late last night a copy of a letter that he wrote to the Prime Minister of Norway, along with the Norwegian ambassador. And the letter is so bonkers, so crazy, so stupid, so dangerous, so insane that when most people late last night and in the morning looked at this letter, they didn't think it was real. Like, Donald Trump is a horrible, stupid, dangerous, idiotic guy who always posts horrible, stupid, dangerous, idiotic shit. But even for Trump, most people read this letter, copy of a letter that Trump wrote to the Prime Minister of Norway, and most people read this letter and said, no fucking way. That's just like, that's an AI thing, or that's somebody, making fun of something that Trump would write. Believable that Trump would write the letter, but most people say that's not real, right? Can't be real. I mean, in the letter, Trump pretty much says, and I'll put it up here in a second, but Trump pretty much says that, you know what? I'm going to take Greenland because I didn't get the Nobel Peace Prize. So fuck it. I'm just going to take Greenland. I'm going to attack our NATO partners because I didn't get the Nobel. And most people said, come on now. That's, even for Trump, that can't be real. It's real. White House came out this morning and said it's real. Put it out there again. Double down. It's real. The President of the United States wrote this letter and sent this letter to the Prime Minister of Norway. Keith, do we have a copy of it? See if I can read it. To the ambassador and Prime Minister Jonas Støre. Dear Jonas, Considering your country decided not to give me the Nobel Peace Prize for having stopped 8 wars plus, I no longer feel an obligation to think purely of peace, although it will always be predominant, but can now think about what is good and proper for the United States of America. Denmark cannot protect that land from Russia or China, Greenland. And why do they have a right of ownership anyways? They don't. And blah, 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 blah. Thank you for your attention to this matter. The President of the United States sent a letter to the Prime Minister of Norway, the Norwegian ambassador, that said, in essence, I'm going to attack Denmark. I'm going to attack a NATO ally because I was not given the Nobel Peace Prize. And oh, by the way, Denmark has no legitimate right to Greenland and blah, 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 blah. Denmark sucks and NATO, you suck. And the United States, the world needs the United States. The United States just has to have Greenland. You read this letter, and if you have a head on your shoulders and you're not down some rabbit hole that you should not be down, you read this letter and you think that guy is fucking batshit crazy. What a pathetic human being. He's declaring war on one of our allies, this country's allies. He's declaring war on NATO. He's going to invade, attack, and take over Greenland because he didn't get the Nobel Peace Prize. Thanks, Keith. I just have two thoughts, because I'm not going to spend tons of time on Trump is crazy and blah 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 blah. Oh my God, we got to do something. I'm not going to do that. My reaction to the letter, once we found out, everybody found out it's legit, it's real, Trump really did write it and send it. My first reaction was, and I think this was my reaction to a few other things Trump's posted in the past 3 or 4 days, was just simply 25th Amendment now. I don't have the time or the interest to get into a discussion or a debate or a long-winded conversation about how fucking disabled and dangerous this guy is. All that needs to be said is the 25th Amendment. Now, this guy in the White House is no longer capable of carrying out the functions of that office. He's gone. He's disabled. He's messed up in the head. He is no longer able to do his job. I've felt that way for a while. I've always felt that way, right? When it comes to Donald Trump, I mean, he's a psychopath. He's a pathological liar. I go on and on, but now he's 79, 80 years old, and he's clearly losing it upstairs. 25th Amendment, the cabinet's got to intercede and remove him from his office now. He's a danger to this country and the world. That's all. That's all that needs to be said. Time for the 25th Amendment. The cabinet needs to huddle together and vote and decide the president can no longer carry out the duties of his office, period. That won't happen. But every time Trump does or says something that is dangerous and batshit crazy, that's my only response. He's not going to be impeached. The only other way to remove him is for the people around him, who all know how batshit crazy and dangerous he is to remove him. Ain't going to happen. The point, though, is this, world and America. He's the president. The people of this country put him in that office. Every day he's there. He makes the world less safe. He makes America less safe. He's a genuine threat, not just to democracy and the rule of law here. He's a genuine threat to humanity. And so again, I'm out there on my island, and I'm just 25th Amendment. Just want to be on the record, right? Just want to be on the record. He's no longer mentally, he no longer has the capacity, the mental facilities to do the job. He should be removed. Just want to get that on the record. My second reaction, though, to this letter, Donald Trump once again attacking our European allies, once again attacking NATO. He's gonna take over Greenland. And my other reaction to this was, is there anywhere in Europe, will some European leader somewhere stand up in the public square and punch Donald Trump in the face? Will some European leader do that? Stand up to this bully, this coward, and quite literally punch him in the face? Is there not one European leader who will finally do that publicly? Tomorrow, Trump will have been president for a year, January 20th. And from the moment Trump was sworn in until now, right now, all of the leaders of all of our allied countries around the world, all European leaders, what they've done this past year is try to coddle Donald Trump and appease Donald Trump and pat Donald Trump on the head and laugh with Donald Trump and look away at Donald Trump and give Donald Trump toys or presents or things to play with for the past year. European leader after European leader, like when they've come to visit or when they're talking over there, they get down on their knees and they just flatter the hell out of Donald Trump. Tickle Donald Trump. Bow to Donald Trump. Flatter him and flatter him and flatter him. Our allies, European leaders, have been doing that for a year, even though it's been clear for a year that Donald Trump is on the side of Putin. Donald Trump is the enemy of the free world. He's Ukraine's enemy. The European leaders just kind of coddle him and flatter him and pat him on the head and hope for the best. And roll their eyes at all the stupid shit he says, and roll their eyes when he says he's going to take Greenland and he's going to go to declare war against Denmark. They just roll their eyes and flatter him and say, oh, maybe he won't, and just look the other way. Look embarrassed. Appease him. It's been going on day after day after day for a year. The leader of the free world works for Putin, is not with Ukraine. The leader of the free world is not with the free world. Because Donald Trump is in the White House, America is the enemy of the free world. And our European allies have spent a year just trying their best to appease him and flatter him. And I'm here to say, after a year, that ain't worked, man. That just hasn't worked, man. And I don't know about you, everybody who's listening to me right now, but I'll tell you what. Again, the first European leader who just said fuck it, and they publicly stood up to Trump, would be an international hero. Would be a hero here in America. Like Macron or Starmer, or the first European leader who, like, publicly in front of a camera. I mean, here's Trump saying, I'm going to attack Denmark and grab Greenland because I didn't get the Nobel Peace Prize. Man, if Macron or one of our European leaders stood up today and in front of a camera said, you know what, Donald Trump, fuck off. Hey, Donald Trump, go get some fucking help. You need professional help, Donald Trump. And by the way, Donald Trump, fuck off. If Macron said that, if any of our allied European leaders said that publicly, they would be beloved. They would be beloved. They would be a hero internationally. And you know what? They'd be a hero here in America. Oh my God, a huge hero. By the way, it's the right thing to do, right? Again, we've been through this before. From the beginning of time. Donald Trump is a bully. Follow me. All bullies are cowards. Follow me. The only way you successfully defeat a bully is you got to punch that bully in the nose. You got to stand up to a bully and punch a bully. You got to confront a bully. You bullies are cowards, man. You can never, ever, ever appease or coddle or flatter a bully. And that's what Trump's been with our European allies around the world. But I'll tell you what, I read this last night, or when I woke up in this morning, and I said a prayer. Give me one European leader who'd stand up in the public square and punch Trump in the face, literally or figuratively. Like, even if Macron met with Trump, or Starmer met with Trump, if any of our allies met with Trump, if any European leader came and sat with Trump, and that leader got so pissed off at Trump that he literally punched him in the face, he would be a hero. Like I'm supposed to say, figuratively speaking, Trump should be punched? No! I'm saying if Macron had a chance to literally punch Trump in the face, man, Macron would be an international hero. He'd be a hero here. The world would love him. Trump needs to be punched in the face. That's the only way you deal with a bully. He's on the verge of declaring war against Denmark, Europe. You're going to flatter him some more? No. Stand up. In fact, you all ought to get together, hold a press conference, stand up, and in unison, all of you, European leaders, together in unison say, Donald Trump, fuck off. You're messed up in the head. You need professional help. Go get lost. Fuck off. Don't you dare even contemplate going to war against Denmark. We all stand with Denmark. You're going to war against NATO. You're going to war against Europe. Fuck off, Donald Trump. That's what our European allies should do. Damn quickly. Hey, this Monday, so much bad happens and has been happening in this country every day. So much bad so much cruelty has been happening every day in this country for a year, most especially when it comes to immigrants in this country, that it's hard to keep up. I mean, right now we have a masked, heavily armed, lawless militia, which is occupying Minneapolis. And so, rightly, most everybody's focus is on Minneapolis, as it should be. But man, we lose sight of and we lose track of everything else that's going on in this country when it comes to immigrants and immigration. Like, for instance, did you know this Monday that right now, as we speak right now, there are tens of thousands of immigrants who have passed their citizenship test, who've gone through all the vetting to become American citizens. They've gone through the entire process, right? Started years ago to become American citizens. Tens of thousands of these immigrants, they have walked right up to the altar, ready to become Americans, just ready to take that final step. They've done everything. They've gone through every hoop. They've passed all the vetting. They've passed all the tests. And they're ready now to just raise their right hand, take the oath, and become a citizen of this country. Tens of thousands of them right now in America. And yet they can't. They're in limbo. They can't take the oath yet. Forgot about this, didn't we? A headline, Keith, I don't know if we have that headline. I'm glad this was put in front of us again. Remember back in November, after the National Guard officer in D.C. was shot, Trump's immediate reaction was, we're going to cancel immigration from any country where brown and black people come from. And then what Trump did was he suspended all naturalization ceremonies for anybody from one of these now 39 countries where brown and black immigrants come from. Trump just suspended the naturalization ceremonies. They are still suspended, the naturalization ceremonies where you raise your right hand and you take an oath to become an American. Trump's suspended those ceremonies for immigrants in this country who've gone through every step of the process, already passed their test. Trump's suspension of the naturalization ceremonies, by the way, is still in place. And here we are almost 2 months later, and there now in this country are tens of thousands of immigrants from these 39 countries who are in America right now, just waiting to take their oath. And they don't know what to do. They don't know what their status is. They've done everything else. It's like a baseball game, and they've made it to 2 outs, bottom of the ninth, baby. And the last at bat is taking the oath. And Trump won't let them because they're brown or black and they come from one of these 39 countries. Trump won't let them take the oath. And so, America, you got tens of thousands of these immigrants who are not citizens yet in this country, in limbo. In fact, we told you before Christmas, many of these immigrants were quite literally pulled out of the ceremony. They went to their ceremony. They were minutes away from taking their oath, and they were grabbed and taken out. And now they're in limbo. Tens of thousands of them. And the Trump administration put out a statement last week that said, oh, we've got to do it because we've got to protect the American people. And these immigrants need to be properly vetted, blah, 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 from these 39 countries, blah, 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 blah. All of these immigrants have been heavily vetted. They've already gone through the years-long vetting process. So they've already been vetted. They've already gone through every step of the process to become an American citizen. They have passed their citizenship test. Now they're in this country. What is their status? And oh, by the way, again, because this is all about confusion, chaos, and fear, a number of these immigrants don't want to even inquire about their status. They're afraid to even check on their status because they're afraid they might be deported. So a lot of these tens of thousands of immigrants, brown and black, aren't, I mean, they're out there. They're like, they're in America. And they're afraid to check in. They're afraid to find out what their status is. They're afraid to ask for a hearing. They're afraid to show up to a naturalization ceremony for fear that they may be grabbed and then deported. So fucking cruel. So fucking stupid. I mean, just so fucking inefficient, unproductive, wrong, but so fucking cruel. And that's the point with everything that Trump and his people do to brown and black immigrants, to immigrants at large. It's all about the cruelty. How fucking cruel can you be? Immigrants who wanted nothing more than to become Americans. And they've spent years and money going through the process of becoming Americans. And they got to the very last simple step of taking the oath. And Trump pulled that away from them. All because of racism and bigotry and fear. Shame on him. Shame on us. Shame on this country for putting him back in power. Final thought this Monday. And look, I you know me, I come in every day, whatever mood I'm in every day, whatever's got me worked up or thinking every day, and I'm not in great spirits today. So that is today's show. Stephen Miller posted something, I think overnight or yesterday, telling local law enforcement in Minneapolis, thanks, Keith. Local and state police have been ordered to stand down and surrender. Stephen Miller, the second or first most powerful person in Washington. Local and state police have been ordered to stand down and surrender. What does that mean? Thanks, Keith. What does that mean? Local and state police have been ordered to stand down, have been ordered to surrender. That's strong stuff. That's strong language. That's threatening language. What does it mean, though? Well, when you think about the fact, Stephen Miller says that, and we know that the Trump administration right now has told 1,500 active duty troops to be on the ready, to be called to Minneapolis. 1,500 military men and women, active duty, have been given the order to be ready and be prepared to be deployed to Minneapolis. So when you think about that, Trump's got 1,500 troops at the ready. Trump's just itching to say, Insurrection Act, Insurrection Act. Well, then it makes sense that his guy, Stephen Miller, is laying the groundwork for local law enforcement, for state cops in Minnesota and Minneapolis. Hey, the military's coming, guys. You better stand down. You better surrender. a reminder that he's going to declare the Insurrection Act, invoke the Insurrection Act. And there will be zero justification for it. But and when he does invoke the Insurrection Act, it will be taken to court immediately. It will take time to work its way through the judicial system. And in the meantime, he will have America's military on the streets of Minneapolis. It's what he wants. Because what he wants, what he is just dying to do, is incite you and I to get so fucking pissed off at the sight of the Marines, our Marines on the streets of Minneapolis, that Americans begin to get violent. See, Trump's all about inciting violence. That's Trump's game. That's his biggest and best and most important play this year, is to incite the American people to violence so that he can fuck with or cancel the midterms. It's all part of the plan. We need to overwhelm the plan. We need to overwhelm the plan peacefully, nonviolently. We need to engage in civil disobedience. And by the way, we need to tell Trump, and we need to tell the world, fuck you, Trump. Fuck Trump. Hey, fuck Trump. The midterms are happening. Hey, Trump, fuck you. The midterms are happening. Not here, not in this country. You're not canceling any elections. Not in this country, Trump. Fuck you. The midterms are happening. I'm going to end on that happy note. Right there, you see Paxos.app. This is our effort to do something lawfully against ICE. We've built, as you know the deal. We've built an app, an AI-generated app, the one-stop shop, the Know Your Rights app for all immigrants and all Americans to go to know how to protect yourselves against what ICE is doing, ourselves, and to lawfully fight back against ICE. We are crowdfunding the development of and distribution of this tool because Trump can't go after thousands of us. He could go after the head of some tech company who wanted to create an app like this to help immigrants. He could threaten the head of a tech company, but thousands of us who all went on GoFundMe to give 5, 10, 15 bucks, he can't come after thousands of us. That's why we're crowdfunding this thing. If you'd like to be a part of it, please go read about it and give what you can, support it and share it. Paxos.app. There it is right there, Paxos.app. My Substack, Social Contract with Joe Walsh.substack.com. Everything I do is there. If you want to financially support this voice, my voice, best way to do it is to subscribe to Substack. I know you're asked to subscribe to a gazillion things every day. I know if you're on Substack, everybody and their mother's saying, hey, give me $5, $6 a month and you can support. You decide which ones you want to support. My voice, unique voice, if you think it's of value and you'd like to support it, that's how you can help me stay out there. Social Contract with Joe Walsh.substack.com. You want to send me an email about anything, please do. The Social Contract with Joe Walsh@gmail.com. That's all one word. The Social Contract with Joe Walsh@gmail.com. Hey, let's have a good week. Thanks for listening, everybody. Be brave.
Thank you for listening. Remember to listen, follow, and share The Social Contract with Joe Walsh on Apple, Spotify. Plus, don't forget to subscribe to The Social Contract on Substack. This has been The Social Contract with Joe Walsh.